Before we start this video, I want to put a caveat in here. I'm Irish. Irish people are not very good at talking about themselves in a very positive way, but I'm trying to put that aside for the content that I want to put into this video. So with that said, I'm sure any of the Irish people watching this will find it funny and will nod their head, but I need to put that caveat in there before I start. In this video, I want to explore what it means to be multi-dimensional, why it's often misunderstood, and how leaning into it can unlock new ways of thinking and creating. Creativity as a core skill set, not a series of disconnected interests. For as long as I can remember, I've been drawn to creating. Not just in one area, but across a vast spectrum. Music, painting, drawing, making videos, clay modeling, UX design, illustration, and more. If something is creative and captures my interest, I don't just try it, I immerse myself in it. And more often than not, I can get quite good at it pretty quickly. This isn't just about being a generalist in the typical sense. It's about being a multi-dimensional creator. Someone who moves fluidly between different forms of making, seeing connections between disciplines, and trying to constantly evolve. I've come to realize that this way of being isn't just a personal trait, it's a powerful approach to creativity that more people could embrace. One of the biggest misconceptions about having multiple creative pursuits is that it means that you're scattered or unfocused. But in reality, all of these interests stem from a core ability, creativity itself. At its heart, creativity is about problem solving, pattern recognition, and expression. Whether I'm designing an experience, composing music, or working with my hands to draw or sculpt something, I'm engaging similar mental muscles. I'm seeing structure, I'm making decisions about form and composition, refining the details, and iterating towards something that resonates, either with myself or with other people. The medium might change, but the process remains deeply familiar. Personally, this is why I can move between different disciplines with relative ease. The key takeaway for me is that if you see creativity as a core skill rather than individual isolated talents, for example, it changes how you approach learning and making. One of the things I've noticed in my own creative journey is how different fields inform each other. There are underlying patterns that exist across disciplines, and once you become skilled at recognizing them, learning new creative skills becomes faster and more intuitive. For example, music and UX design both require an understanding of structure, timing, and flow. Just as songs need rhythm and progression, a great user experience needs pacing and hierarchy. Painting and interface design both involve composition, contrast, and balance, making sure elements guide the viewer's eye in a natural way. Video storytelling and problem solving in design both rely on sequencing information in a way that leads to understanding. Hopefully I'm doing an okay job of that. When you can transfer insights from one discipline to another, you develop a creative edge that specialists might not have. This is why some of the best innovators borrow ideas from outside their own fields, because they recognize the power of cross-disciplinary thinking. Something I've observed in myself and in what I see in other multi-dimensional creatives is the relentless pull towards making over consuming. Many people spend the majority of their time absorbing other people's work, watching videos. We've all done this scrolling through social media, consuming entertainment. But when you're wired to create, you feel a deep need to produce rather than just absorb. It's not that consuming itself is bad. I mean, inspiration is essential. But when you're always in the mode of consumption, you never develop the skills or confidence to create something new or original. Being multidimensional means constantly flipping that ratio, being inspired by the world, but then immediately channeling it into something tangible. If you ever feel like you're stagnating creatively, ask yourself, am I consuming too much and creating too little? What's stopping me from turning my ideas into something real? The shift from passive observer to active creator is one of the most powerful mindset changes you can make. One of the biggest struggles of having multiple passions is the fear that you should specialize in just one thing, that you have to choose a single path and stick with it. While some people thrive on deep specialization, others, like me, find that a single track focus feels limiting at times. The key for me is finding the balance to embrace multiple interests without feeling overwhelmed. Here are some things that help me. Follow your energy. Work on what excites you the most in the moment. Your interests will naturally rotate, and that's okay. Find creative intersections. Look for ways your passions can overlap. If you love music and like making art, maybe you could do the artwork for your music. or you could add video to your music. You can explore music scoring for visual content. If you love UX design and storytelling, create explainer videos about design concepts. You can also set creative sprints. Rather than trying to do everything at once, you can focus intensely on one skill for a period, then shift gears when you feel ready. By treating creativity as an evolving, dynamic process rather than a rigid career track, you can allow yourself to grow in ways that feels natural rather than forced. Being multidimensional isn't about mastering 100 different things just for the sake of it. It's about understanding that creativity isn't confined to a single box. It's about valuing breadth as much as depth, not feeling pressured to fit into a single niche, using cross-disciplinary thinking to generate new ideas, flipping the script from consuming to creating as often as possible, letting curiosity be your guide, not external expectations. The world often tells us that success comes from specialization, and for some that's true, but there's an entire creative force, people who thrive on diversity of thought, on making connections between fields, on seeing the bigger picture rather than just the details. Instead of fighting against it, you can choose to embrace it. And if this resonates with you, maybe you should too. Here's a final thought. If you've ever felt like you don't quite fit into a conventional career mold, if you love too many things, if you feel pulled in multiple directions, know that you're not alone. Being multidimensional is a strength, not a weakness. It means you're adaptable. It means you're wired to see the world a bit differently. And in an era where creativity, synthesis, and interdisciplinary thinking are more valuable than ever, that's an advantage. So lean into it, let yourself create freely. The world needs more people who think beyond a single discipline, more people who connect the dots, who make unexpected things, and in some ways who break the mold. Being multidimensional is not a limitation. In my opinion, it's a superpower. This video was a little bit different to some of the other ones that I make. I'd love to know if this resonated, if it got some ideas going, or if you have different opinions to what I've shared here today. If you like the channel, please like and subscribe, and I'd really appreciate it if you could share it with any of your friends or your colleagues that would find this channel useful. That would really help the channel out. Thank you, and see you in the next video.